I'm curious as far as a starting place, because if you're looking at the evaluation process for an enterprise, and a lot of times you're going to be, working with the big five consulting companies that come in, they help you evaluate, they help you deal with workflow, what workflow is working, what needs to change, how data migration is going to flow, all of that. So when you're working generally, because you see so many different folks, Michael, when you're working with, let's just start with very small business, and 10 agents, 5 agents, something like that. What's your starting point in a discussion with those folks as far as, okay, we're going to go from here to there. This is how you're working today. These are the things you're integrating in. What's the general process for you? What questions are you asking them?
So what you said is very close to what I would start off doing, which is great with the smaller business, because generally the person I'm talking to has those answers, right? With the enterprise, it's very siloed. No, we do this very specific function. And so if we step out of, if we need to look at it at a little higher level, okay, we're going to have another meeting and bring the owner, of that organization in to understand how this in fits in the workflow of what we need. So exactly what you said. What I like about working with small medium business is generally the person we're talking to can answer those questions. So I really start from the outside in. Okay, who's contacting you? What are they contacting you for? And how does that normally go? So I like to get a baseline of how their workflow happens today. And then, with based on the experience that we have working with, everybody from enterprise to small, medium business, kind of break down each segment of that workflow, and think of things that we've seen in the past have been able to maybe completely change that workflow in a good way, right? Not in a bad way. We're not there to, tear up what they're doing. But maybe change that workflow for the better, or just improve, make it more efficient, certain segments of that for those employees.
Yeah, so and that is interesting with the workflow, because it feels to me, and we can talk about it in a few minutes, but it feels to me, particularly with the adoption of so many different technologies and communications because of AI at the moment,